Hi, my name's Susan Caso. I'm a first-time author, and the name of my book is called The Parenting Connection: How to Build Lifelong Family Relationships. This book gives parents practical, actionable strategies to build stronger bonds with their child during the preteen years and beyond. I talk about connectedness, which is that feeling of emotional closeness with another, where we feel we matter, we're valued, there's a deep sense of belonging, and there's an internal warmth and responsiveness in the relationship that feels safe and reassuring. And right now, our youth world is filled with stress and pressure, and they need that ability to safely reach out for their parents now more than ever. In fact, connectedness is actually a protective factor. Research shows that connectedness with at least one parent results in fewer emotional problems, lower rates of anxiety, depression, lower rates of violence, and fewer suicide attempts.
What inspired you to write this book?
I've been a therapist for over 20 years, and I also have three children of my own, 26, 22, and 12. I've been parenting in two different generations, and I see what has changed for young people, which means our parenting needs to change as well. And I also see the same cycles and negative patterns of interaction that cause disconnection between parent and child. And I know the tools that work. So I wanted to reach more people with those tools and help more families.
What kind of research did you do while writing this book?
Well, I did a lot of research over 23 years of being a clinician and a parent of three. The book is filled with client stories, personal stories, and I do cite research from longstanding professionals in the field of attachment and parenting.
What's a sign of a mental distress in a teen that is often missed?
That's a great question. For years, we have been associating the word rebellious with teenagers. And I think it doesn't help us in our parenting or our children. Because when we filter their behavior through the lens of them just being rebellious, we can miss things. They might be struggling with navigating their social world or struggling with a learning disability at school. Or there might be something going on in their relationship with us as parents. And so we need to pause and really understand, ask questions, and listen and not make assumptions that our teenager is just rebelling.
What's one simple thing every parent can do to help them connect with their teenager?
This is a great question. And in the book, I talk about what I term the mom dad role versus the parent role. And I'll explain very shortly, but there'll be more information in the book for you. For years, I've been asking teenagers, what percent of interaction do you perceive as positive with your parent? And most say around 30%. And when I ask them what makes up that 30%, they share things like, we cooked together, we skied, we cuddled on the couch and watched a movie. All of those times, it's where you're experiencing joy with your child. You're actually cultivating the relationship during those times. And I term that the mom dad role. And then I ask young people, well, what makes up that other 70% that you perceive as negative? And they share the interactions that begin with, have you, when are you going to, you need to. Now, of course, that is an instructional part of parenting. And I do call that the parent role. But when we spend more time in that parent role versus the mom dad role, we're not cultivating the relationship. So I work with families on how can you have more of that mom dad time than the parent time.
What are a couple of books you've read recently that you've loved?
I recently read Benjamin Perk's Trauma Proof. I highly recommend that. I also reread Love Sense, which is a great book for couples.
Is there anything you want us to know about your book?
Yeah, what I have heard is that this parenting book feels different. The readers have shared with me that they truly feel my compassion, my understanding about how difficult it is to parent right now, and that they really feel like there's tangible things that they're taking away that they can implement immediately in their families. I would also like to add the sooner you read the book, the better. The earlier you start building that connection, that strong emotional bond with your child, the better.
Can you read us a short passage from your book?
Yes, I would love to. This is from chapter 1, that is titled Connectedness. Parenting, no pressure rate. Every day as a parent is like the first day of a new job. Once you think you have it figured out, something changes. Your kid moves on to another stage of development, and you must pivot to meet their newest needs. Kids have a very specific way of being, their nature, but how you interact with them, your nurture, makes a significant impact on their development. Nurturing a child's development even impacts how certain biological aspects play out. Just as a seed holds potential for growth, that seed must be nurtured to bloom into a flower. Your teen needs daily nurturing through an emotional connection with you. How you are with your child impacts their well-being. Parenting from birth into adulthood is an enormous role. Being your child's mom or dad is just the beginning. You become their nurturer, safety monitor, moral compass, strategic planner, nutritionist, emotional nurse, confidant, taxi driver, chef, alarm clock, taskmaster, financial supporter, mentor, reality check, and cheerleader, to name a few. It can seem overwhelming, but the good news is you don't have to be a perfect parent. You don't have to be perfect in any of your relationships. The most essential thing in relationships is to cultivate connectedness. Thank you to the Boulder Bookstore for allowing me to chat with you to stronger families. Thank you so much.